Welcome back to Skidmore Family Farm. Well, some things happened today and in the past couple weeks and months actually that little events that just keep piling up. I think everybody has similar things when problems pile up and you ignore them or whatever, no matter how small or whatever. Cutting the grass, taking trash out, you put it off and then problems pile up, what have you. Everybody has that. Kids, adults, whatever. Young, old. Everybody has problems. But when you don't deal with them, whether it be your personal problems or problems that are being pushed on you that are created no fault of your own. For example, trespassers. That's the whole... I guess the root of what transpired earlier in my post about running for sheriff. Basically, we've had people trespassing and nothing's done about it. It happens to all property owners, whether it's a lot, a place of business, whatever. You're a landowner, farmer, homesteader, whatever, out-of-state vacation property, let's say even. You get people that don't respect other people's property and they think it's okay to use your property as they wish. Or come on your property to case things out and steal things, which I think that's more of along the lines of what's happening. So, and I didn't think that at first. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt but not be gullible about it. So, I won't tell the actual story of what happened just because at this point it would still be gossip if I called people out by name or started giving addresses out, something crazy like that, but whatever. Anywho, yeah, there's just people lack of respect in humanity today. Nobody thinks they should be held accountable for anything but be allowed to do everything with no repercussions, no consequences, whatever you want to call it. But Miss Marie is whining because she's supposed to be asleep because it's past her bedtime. It is. It's 11 after 1 a.m. But, and I'm seeing somebody's reacting to my post, a friend, or commenting or something, so they know I'm still fired up, but I'm actually winding down, hence my saggy eyes, and probably, I don't know if you can see it, my camera or my screen's all dirty, so, but basically, the moral of the story is don't let people walk on you because they'll just keep doing it and taking advantage no matter what the situation is. I said earlier I was going to run for sheriff and because of these trespassing things and nothing's being done. I mean, it's always frowned upon. Anybody that you say the word trespass, I mean, you see the sign and you... Common sense says don't go in, right? Well, we don't have signs up, but we have a mailbox, and a mailbox is a sign in itself. It has an address. Well, when you have an address, that means somebody lives there a certain amount of time of the year, basically. You have to get an address here. It has to be a main residence or basically it has to have purpose to have an address. You have to have the plans of a house or whatever. You can't just and I don't have any restrictions here. This is just like a zero building code thing. My house, which is unfinished and filthy and whatever, because I always start little projects like this one in the middle of the worst time, like my sawmill build. I'm gonna start building a sawmill from scratch, not going to Wood Miser or one of the other big name brands, or even the cheapy Harbor Freight, which brings that to my attention to remind people. I asked for help from Harbor Freight and they shut me down. But anyhow, yeah, we're building a sawmill, so I was just reaching out and trying to market our YouTube channel and our different platforms by doing reviews on products so I can build my sawmill. Well, Harbor Freight was the first one just because they're close. But they turned me down for whatever reason. My wife told me that. She's the one that applied. But anyhow, um, yeah, I mean, the more you do in life, the more people want to take from you. So, uh, yeah, in the middle of a sawmill build, I mean, I just got a loan, a personal loan that somebody gave me out of, I'm not sure if it was sympathy or if they trusted me that much, but I would like to go with trust. But so we can finish the house is what I was getting at. And in the middle of this, my normal routine, which is to do farm stuff, homesteading stuff, all these events keep transpiring. Things, like I said, that I have no control over, and it just happens to everybody. Everybody has things that happen in their lives that somebody runs a stop sign, they get hit. I mean, that ain't your fault, but at the end of the day, you still got ran into and maybe got injured, or your car's jacked up, and the person may not even have meant to do that. It wasn't even intentional, but it happens. It's life, whatever. I'm not any different than anybody else. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody else, or that poor me, I'm having all these problems, whatever. It's not even like that, even. It's just that, I mean, some people get to a point in life, you stick your head in the sand like an ostrich. I put this in my post on Facebook. You got your head in the sand for so long, and you either keep it there and ignore everything, or you stand up and do something about it. Earlier I said I was going to run for sheriff for Clay County, Kentucky. No. After thinking about it, consulting with people that I trust, with pretty much anything, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable telling them anything, no matter what the situation was. But either way, it's people that I confide in. That's what I'm getting at. And they kind of laughed and then explained like the problems that I would face if I was to decide to run for Clay County Sheriff's, just because it's a super small town. If you know anything about Clay County, Kentucky, it's a tiny town. It's like going back kind of like 50 years in time, and it's just a completely different way of life, and that's actually why we moved here. I come from a large city, Indianapolis, Indiana. Moved to Clay County, Manchester, Kentucky. 30 miles outside of Hazard, Kentucky, or an hour and a half from Harlan, Kentucky. Poorest counties and cities in the United States. I had a decent house in Martinsville, Indiana. I was born in Indianapolis. Most families in Indiana or whatever, so wasn't any reason to move, but this is where I am. That was like, I wouldn't say my goal in life, but I've always had like this fascination, I always call it the little house on the prairie syndrome. It's like one of my favorite series, whatever. It's like wholesome, stick up for what's good and right, and don't judge people, those type of things. All those values that we're supposed to have, or morals as humans, a human race. I mean, even as a kid, I liked it, and I didn't have that type of thinking then. I just kind of liked the old Western living, whatever, self-sufficient thing, hence why I'm here. So, yeah, I'm the guy that's 44 and likes Little House on the Prairie. I actually have the whole 100 season or whatever it is, multi-disc, the whole series, including all the ins and outs of Little House on the Prairie. But anyhow, yeah, I always had that drive to be like the pioneer type or whatever, settle the open range or whatever. See stuff before it's not there. I like the movie Dances with Wolves. Why in the earth would you want to go out to Indian territory, or however that goes? I don't remember the exact words, but he's like, before it's all gone, and he's like, have you looked out there? It's all gone. It's nothing but whatever the officer that he was addressing that was supposed to determine where he went, and he was supposed to go out to Fort whatever. But anyhow, yeah. I mean, I set a goal or whatever. We took a family vote. I mean, if you go back on our YouTube videos, we got over 200 and some YouTube videos. It started out 4 years ago or whatever, almost 5, because we started to move here once in like 2017-ish, maybe the beginning of 2018, and things just didn't work out. Our house wasn't, the money involved in my previous house in Indiana wasn't worth what I expected quite. I mean, I felt like it was worth more for the effort that I put in it, and basing it on the market prices of all of the comps around me, basically, is how, I mean, that's how real estate, I guess, works. You got to base it on, just like anything. You got a Ferrari. If one person's Ferrari is determined to be worth this, and yours is of comparable whatever, you know what I mean? If it's similar, same engine, whatever, then it's going to be worth about the same. Same with houses. Well, we didn't move, so it got put off for like a year, and this and that, and had some other issues involving moving with kids and stuff, which delayed, and this and that. I did videos on that also. But we ended up in Manchester, Kentucky, and that's where I am. I mean, I set a goal, I guess you could say. I just realized I have a stain on my shirt. I spilt my curry Thai sauce on me. I had chicken curry Thai with some white rice. And it looks like half of it's on my shirt. But anyhow, check my beard. All right, now we're good. But yeah, I mean, I said I was gonna do something. I just started like any other thing. When you go to do something, you got to have a plan. You got to start. If it's moving or going to a different place for whatever, our interests were property, which started out in Indiana, but we quickly realized that per acre, our area was like. I mean, I guess it's not high for the national average, but for what we were looking for or what we needed, like farm ground or a place that has a decent amount of acreage in our price range, and it had to meet other requirements, like we didn't want any codes because I want to build my own house personally. This is what you see here. If you go back and Skidmore Family Farm videos, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, anything where we've tried to locate our info, you can see my unfinished house. Here lately I've been calling everything white trash. I look like the Beverly Hillbillies. I moved, sorry neighbors, I moved where the hillbillies are, and I ended up being the biggest hillbilly coming from the city. But no, it's a work in progress. I just try and keep in mind that I'm doing it all myself, and we've got all these other projects going on. So even though one project that most people would consider needing to be done isn't done as like a priority, kind of like food, water, and shelter for survival. You put your shelter first. Well, not me. I always jump into things like I'm not supposed to. Let me check. I'm getting down to 6%, so I better wrap this up. Like most things, I jump into them and figure things out as I go on my own. And if somebody helps or offers to help, here lately I've learned to try and accept it because I'm stubborn, and I always tend to do everything myself, which hence using salvaged materials to save money so I can afford to do my own house and all that stuff. A lifetime of learning how to build and do this, fix things, what have you. But I mean, like I said, what I was getting at, I know I sound like I'm rambling, but what I was getting at is if everybody kind of went through the thought process of um, just like if you're setting a goal, and once you set that goal, you got to break it down step by step, divide and conquer. If you don't do those things, I mean, the time you let it go stagnant and don't do anything or put your head in the sand, things pass you by, or things get worse, or things escalate because you didn't do your part. And I said that in my post on Facebook. You take a small problem and you don't do anything about it. Well, if the small problem keeps happening and it goes unnoticed or just ignored, those little problems pile up into one big one or 1,000 little ones that surround you and swallow you up. So I have a problem with trespassers and just other little issues that have been bothering me about people's attitudes in general, not just here. I mean, everywhere. I have good neighbors here. That's my neighbors and stuff aren't the problem, and the community's not the problem. It's people with shitty attitudes and people that are using platforms like social media type stuff for negativity, the news. Everybody knows that. Everybody fake news, this, that, whatever, or they buy into it and it's real news to them, but in reality, it's fake news. There's a trend on TV. It's called reality TV. Let me tell you, it's not reality. That's fake TV. Reality is what you see every day. If you look to the TV for reality, you're going to be brainwashed into some messed up reality, which I think a lot of people are starting to finally see because of what's transpiring in schools, the government. Everybody knows there's all kinds of crazy issues with grocery prices and all that stuff, and that's it. Hence why we're here. So anybody that's gonna fuck it up for me here, basically, I'm here to say that, hey, bring it, because I've worked the last 3 years to build what you see on my little piece of heaven in Manchester, Kentucky, and anybody that's fucking willing to take it from me or family, well, it just ain't gonna happen. Uh, I've got close-knit neighbors. I just talked to a couple tonight, and they done warned me, man. If you need anything, come tell me, whatever. And that's like a lot of bull crap in the city, or just a lot of people in general. But I don't have any family per se here because none of my blood relatives are from here. But when we moved here, I was real worried about that and that type of thing, how we would be perceived. But um, you can tell by my accent. Most the people here in Kentucky say I'm the one with the accent, but they know I'm not from here, and they kind of like welcomed us with open arms in many different ways. So uh, it just goes to show, no matter what color you are, where you come from. You can see my long hair. It's 2022. You don't see too many people with the big old shaggy white trash beard and long hair like it's 1980s and they're headed to Ozzy Osbourne concert to rock out or whatever. Sorry, I used that reference because I'm a metal and outlaw country type person, but whatever. I'm just here to say, man, if you stick up for yourself, you really can't go wrong with that, man. I don't know what station it is. It's probably different ones. It's 3 chords in the truth. Yeah, keep it simple and tell the truth, and you can't really go wrong. And anybody that says otherwise is usually just a liar, and people see through the truth. So I'm just going to speak my mind. I said I was going to run for sheriff, and I don't even know that I'm eligible because I don't know anything about being a sheriff, but I'm fucking pissed. And that nobody ever does anything in any situation anymore. Everybody puts their head in the sand, like I'd said earlier. So before my battery runs out, I'm going to just say, yeah, stick up for yourselves, people. Get to know your neighbors. Don't know a stranger, like Forrest Gump said. Uh, Mama always said I never did know a stranger or whatever, so he introduces himself to the bus driver when he starts school, and good, now we're not strangers. He hops on the bus, whatever. So, yeah, people had that simple attitude, things would probably be a lot better. People overcomplicating it with all this bullshit that the government's putting into people's head, or just listening to the wrong people. That, I mean, if you're ignorant to the situation, that's not always your fault, man. But if you don't educate yourself or try to fix the problem, or let people educate you to fix the problem, or um, get people to help you fix the problem, or whatever it takes. If you don't say anything, then yeah, you're a bigger part of the problem than the original problem usually. Um, so I guess my advice is, don't stick your head in the sand. Charge straight ahead and stick with your gut feeling. On that note, I'm going to sign out. And it's Skidmore Family Farm, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now. Yeah, we're new to TikTok. Um, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is where we started. That's where all my videos are. If you have any interest in homesteading, or how, I don't know how TikTok's pushing me right now, because they probably think I'm as crazy as the people on Facebook. So, like I said, on Facebook, you can take it for whatever you want, but hey, at least I'm going to do something. I'll feel good about it either way, because I'll know that I didn't just sit there with my head in the sand. Peace.